Hey people, Ingrid here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Cathari Ruins and Tyranids versus the Ordo Malleus Blue Tyranid team. Venjitron is a Ravener Alpha, a Tanani hero with great mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon alongside Gatts as a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. Rounding off the team is Inekura and a Hive Tyrant, a durable hero, walking through objects, cannot be suppressed with powerful offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Osvaldo. Red Ordo Malleus, the Tenso, already chasing around some Hormagaunts with a brother captain, a durable hero, walking through objects, couldn't be suppressed with powerful offense and support, fighting in melee, and alongside a couple of Eversor assassins. They really want some stuff dead here, the Ordo Malleus. We've got Blackward and Space Tendies. Where are you? Where are you, Space Tendies? There you are. These guys are risk-reward melee brawlers that explode on death. And they're ready to crack stuff open, I think. This is the southwest victory point. None of these VPs are natural. Double termagants there, backing the hell away. Center is turning blue for the Tyranids, though. Venjitron's Ravener Alpha takes it. Psychon popped here for Blackward's Eversor Assassin. Dealing more damage and taking less damage, but you have to spend health to activate it. That's his starting ability. Lictor Alpha has found some Stormtroopers. Hormagaunts have found an angry Eversor Assassin, though. And they're pretty much all angry all the time if they're awake. Into some termagants now. Gets a special attack, though, from the Lictor Alpha, sending him flying, and then leaves. Lictor Alpha now goes after the Strat Squad. I think they should have gone after the Stormtroopers there. Should have got models off them quite quickly. And retreats, which is odd. I assume that was a mistake. They meant to just retreat the termagants. Here's a double Hormagaunt attack now from Venjitron using the tunnel there. The Ravener Alpha just hanging out, capping stuff. Strat Squad, yeah, they can't fight double Adrenal Gland Hormagaunt, so they have to leave. Meanwhile, this is the western natural power of the Ordo Malleus. Got a bit of a dent in it there. They almost got the node down, the Tyranids. Double Stormtroopers here of Blackward. Blackward has triple Stormtroopers into operatives. Where are the operatives? They're making their way out of base. But the captain now fighting the double Hormagaunts, and they're getting burned by Purgation. Should have gone in on the Purgation. Maybe they thought they'd just get purged by flame and slowed down, I guess. Lictor Alpha back on the northeastern VP. There's a contested power up here too, which is going to turn blue, maybe, if those Hormagaunts can tear it down. No toxin sacks. You really want toxin sacks against a brother captain, I would think. Purgation doing some decent work there. Lictor Alpha is going to go after the Purgation. Gets the flesh hook on one of them. Has quite a nasty default melee weapon, this guy. 63 DPS or so, I believe. So if you can get in on you, going to do some work. Getting chased by everything, though, is the Lictor Alpha. Was a little bit isolated there. Warrior Brood tried to come in with barbed strangler action. Couldn't quite get there. That's not going to suppress the brother captain, though. They need the toxin sacks and the termagants to slow that guy down. Double Hormagaunts hanging out. They should be trying to get close to this Tyranid army here so they can get the synapse from the warriors. They're going for the VP. Now they're running in. And here's the support from Gatts. In terms of Titan banishment going in there. Hormagaunts flee. I think if they waited just 5 or 10 seconds for these guys to come in, would have been a much better fight for the Tyranids. They could have attacked them from 2 angles. But as it stands, the Tenso seeing off 2 of those armies there. Basically, these guys getting caught, though, by Hormagaunts. They have their impact grenade. They don't throw it. Purgation doing some decent work, but now they're in trouble. Big trouble. They're going to wipe, I think. Hormagaunts deadly there. Did they get... No, I didn't see Catalyst on them or anything. They did huge amounts of damage to those Purgation. That was an impact grenade. Nicely done. Could have used one of those earlier, Tenso A. Got Purgation on the way again. Interceptors on the field for Space Tendies. Let's have a look at them. Teleporting infantry with big old swords. Thing 30 DPS melee, I believe. So they're going to take the midpoints, I think, the Tyranids here. They have that northeastern power. Oh, but they don't try to cap this rec point back. Gatts is staying on the move. Trying to stay mobile. Probe different areas. Make the enemies react to you. Operatives do have their fallback plan. And no grenades on their stormtroopers, though, for Blackward. They've gone tier 2. There's the incendiary grenade from the operatives, which is given to them by the fallback plan. Ordinarily, they start with a smoke grenade, I think. What's going on here? Quad termagants for Inekura. Didn't even realise. And there's that crippling poison. They all have the toxin sacks. Really frustrating, that Eversor. Look at the damage they do on that burst. That was super effective. More crippling poison, and there's a flank from Gatts as well. $464 to $433. Up in the northeast, power being bashed by Purgation and a whole bunch of other shooty stuff, while the Eversor capped the VP. That was because Gatts went south to flank, paying for it with a power loss, maybe a bit of a power loss. They lost a gen and a node, but they haven't rebuffed the Ordo Malleus yet. Brother Captain's here with the Blessed Aegis. Eversor gets a decent special attack. There is Pop the Cyclone. Gets suppressed by the Barb Strangler. The Brother Captain, of course, does not. But there's that awesome crippling poison again. Triple Hormagaunts for Venjitron. Into a whole bunch of fire. They didn't work out too great. Needed to come in a little bit more nuance from another angle, maybe from up here. Can't just run straight into Purgation with melee stuff. Could also, of course, get the Ravener Alpha burrowing and doing things like that, although they're going to get spotted by the operatives up here. It's a zone thrope on the way for Venjitron in tier 2. First player to get a tier 2 unit out. Venom Brood now for Inekura. Expecting a Rhino perhaps from Space Tendies. There's that crippling poison. Shield can't stay up. And the Brother Captain is rebuffed. Any more war gear we can spot around here? Oh, Acid Splatter in for the Ravener Alpha. Also the Synapse Aura for damage. Going all in on the melee. Rending Talons and improved Synapse for Osvaldo. And they've got a Brood Nest up. The Strat Squad couldn't stand against all the Termagants. Interceptors get in there though. Where's the Hive Tyrant to counter initiate? There you go. Nope, he's just standing there. There's that crippling poison. Now the Hive Tyrant goes in. Seismic Roar. Get out of here. Leave my Termagants alone. Eversor Assassin's in there now though, but he's getting shot to pieces. Does have the Sin Skin Body Glove for more health regen, and improved Cyclone. And also Onslaught Injectors for more charge range and a bit more speed and melee skill each tier. That is HQ tier. 464 to 355, which was an interesting thing. Something that gets more powerful as you tech up. Is there another example of that in the game? Aside from the Imperial Guard HQ actually getting more dangerous as it techs up with more guns and stuff. Eversor Assassin with an Eviscerator Axe or Blackward, giving him the awesome kill zone. Defines an area, I think it's 12 seconds, and he deals more damage in that zone, gets more melee skill, and enemies in it take more melee damage and lose melee skill. It's incredibly powerful if they stick around and try to fight in it, and the Eversor's there. But even if the Eversor's not there, you can throw it up just for the kind of the debuff. Still level 1 Space Tendies. Still level 1 Blackward. Level 2 for the Brother Captain. I guess I didn't lose that many little Tyranid fellas in tier 1 maybe. Zoanthrope's in trouble. Throws the shield up. Needs to move though. Not moving. I think they were trying to line up a focused Warp Blast or something, which is really bad if you're in melee with your shield up. You need to keep the energy for your shield. They do get away though. The Zoanthrope gets away. Let's see if the Ravener Alpha can get into melee here. They're getting slowed down a lot. Purgation. And then we saw the energy burst from the Strat Squad.
but gets in there. It is a power weapon, but the splash damage part of it is not power melee. Again, a little bit too brute forcey there from Venjitron. Could really do some Raveners to break up things and disrupt. Got a Venom Brood of their own. We might see some Death Spitters. The Tenso with a Grey Knight Dreadnought getting that plasma cannon. Everyone loves that plasma cannon. And why not? Kicking off in the southwest. Inekura still has this brood nest here. That is Bio Meltdown. Or it was Bio Meltdown. I think he threw down Killzone and then used Bio Meltdown and had a good old time. And then died. Or fell over at least. He's alright. Just need some encouragement to get up. Space Tendies now with a Grey Knight Dreadnought on the way. Here we see the Tensos. About to let rip with the first plasma cannon shot. Also, of course, and it just hits the wall. Also, of course, gets that twin-linked heavy bolter, which is pretty fun for the Dreadnought. Brother Captain levels to 3. Backing off now. Here comes a flank from Venjitron. They have kept... Oh, no, they haven't. They've gone for the Death Spitters. Awesome anti-infantry, but it's not going to help against this Dreadnought that's here now. Doing some really good work, though. Combined with the Hormagaunts and the Ravener to those Strike Squad fellas. Then they eat a plasma cannon shot. Zone Throat needs to be very careful here. Death Spit is trying to focus down the Strike Squad. Throws up the shield. Does not get away. Needs to be way more live on moving the Zone Throat away there. How's the Ravener Alpha done? Into level 2. Gonna go down though. Eversor gets a level. Has the Neuro Gauntlet. Power Melee Claw. Which is just all about DPS. 2 brood nests here now. I'm not sure if they've lost one and replaced it, but these brood nests are doing a huge amount of work for Inekura. Tyrant Guard on the way now for Venjitron. That'll be good to run in and tie up the Dreadnought and stuff. Tier 3 for Gatts. They kind of skipped tier 2 units, so we'll see if that pays off. They have a good amount of resources. Looks like they're saving for a Swarm Lord actually. Northeast, trying to steal this power back. Because the Ordo Malleus stole it already. And they're taking the mid. Are the Tyranids. Inekura's been holding the southwest pretty well so far. Dealing with 2 Dreadnoughts down here though. They do have a Venom Brood. With Synapse. The ranged Synapse. Which is buffing all of those Termagants. And here comes the Swarm Lord from Gatts. This could be nasty. If 2 of those hit the same spot at the same time. That could wipe those Venom Brood kind of thing. Big boom. They really need that wind-up sound though. Hopefully they can put that in. The plasma cannon wind-up sound. And the shot sound as well. It seems so odd that they silently shoot these plasma cannons. Yeah, it just sends everything packing. They need to deal with these Dreadnoughts, definitely. Lictor Alpha gets in there briefly. No war gear on this guy. Deadly Jump. It's hard to look past Deadly Jump. It's so good. Uh-oh. A bunch of stuff died over here. Looks like those were Gatts, I think. Is that Gatts colour? Yeah. Is that Gatts Venom Brood? Oh, that's Inekura's Venom Brood, I think. Yeah. I believe that was Inekura's Venom Brood. 431 to 201. Venjitrons are maybe going to survive, but they don't have the anti-vehicle weapons. They do survive. Where's the Tyrant Guard then? Still at base. 431-193. Single cap for the blue Tyranids. Ordo Malleus trying to repair their power now. Ordo Malleus Eversor Assassin taking the southwestern victory point. Destroying some Tyranid filth along the way. Are those Dreadnoughts. And they're bashing Tyranid power. Good pressure from the Ordo Malleus. The Dreadnoughts have made a huge difference here. We'll see what the Swarm Lord can do though. Super unit for Tyranids. Powerful combatant that provides a speed and reinforcement synapse. Map is turning very red though. Inekura also in tier 3. So is Venjitron. Can they pull out the big monstrous fellas and get this game back? Swarmlord and Tyrant Guard running at you. That was a bit of a charge there from the Tyrant Guard. Brother Captain goes straight after it. Yeah, because these are all power weapons from the heroes. So they do a lot of damage to a Tyrant Guard. Not so much damage to a Swarmlord because it's got vehicle armor. But that Tyrant Guard has super heavy infantry armor, taking tons of damage from power weapons. But the captain backs off. There's a kill zone, but the Eversor goes down. Would kill zone debuff a vehicle or a Tyrant Guard? I'm not sure. I need to read that tooltip again. If it specifies infantry. Unending Purge up on the brother captain as well. Helps him sustain himself in the field. There's a melter from the operatives. They get that from their sergeant. Tyrant formation. Takes out a generator. Does it do much else? Well, takes out all the power. I guess that's something. Swarmlord takes a bunch of damage. Incendiary grenade goes in there. Tyrant Guard is on shield wall mode. They need a brood nest up here. Maybe Inekura could put one up here for them. They probably lose it quite quickly though. It's getting pushed through quite a lot. Tyrant Guard comes out of shield wall sleep. Goes after the Dreadnought. That's what they need it to do. Tie that thing up. Although, can you tie it up? It doesn't have a melee attack. Doesn't it still just fire? I think it still fires. Conversion beamer for the purgation. All these stormtroopers have plasma guns as well, which is bad news for the Tyrant Guard. Goes into shield wall, which is eventually going to get torn down, I think. Yep, down it goes. Should not have pushed it through there, I don't think. Could have backed off. Swarmlord healing up at base. A Swarmlord on the way now for Venjitron. And that's them out of resources now, basically. So they need to get a lot of value out of that Swarmlord. Eversor level 4 for Space Tendies. Blackward level 2. Brother Captain level 4. What have we got on the Ravener Alphas level 2? Went down. Lictor Alpha level 2 now has Menacing Visage and Corrosive Claws and the Deadly Jump. Suddenly way more dangerous, this guy's on capping duty so far at the moment. 259 to 192 on the VPs. There's a roving around with these dreadnoughts and kicking some ass here. It's carried them through to tier 3 so well. They got there later, but did really well in the fights up to that. We'll see what these double Swarmlords can do. First though, they're just one up from Gatts. Gonna jump in. Makes it easier for the Swarmlord and the Hormagaunts and stuff to get in there. Needs to get onto the Purgation. There we go, because they've got an anti-vehicle weapon that will threaten the Swarmlord. There's the kill zone. And there's the Psychon from the Eversor. He must get obscene amounts of damage. He's got Psychon up and the kill zone in. He can do hypermetabolism and bio meltdown and stuff. You can just stack huge amounts of stuff going on, the Eversor. Very fun to see. The Tenso with a Vortimer Razorback on the way. Where's that second Swarmlord? Coming out of base now for Venjitron. Back towards the mid. Inekura's Hive Tyrant Osvaldo runs away. Level 2. What are they going to buy? Looks like they want a triple Swarmlord going on. Dreadnoughts are still around. They've done an amazing job so far. Level 4 for the Tenso. Level 2 for Space Tendies. Land Raider Crusader for Blackward on the way. Big old shot on the Hormagaunts. Here comes the Swarmlord to have a word. Purgation are back there though with that conversion beamer. Need to set up before they can fire. Not sure where they're going. There's Leech Essence from the Swarmlord. There we go. Melter Bomb goes in. I wonder if this guy's going to get away. And there's a Vortimer. The Vortimer will do decent damage to all targets. 213 to 172. Swarmlord is locked in place because of Electro Pulse and Melter Bomb stacking together. The Swarmlord's going to go down. Yeah. That wasn't great. Sent it in. Sent it in alone. In a bad spot. Gatts' Swarmlord went after the other Dreadnought, but didn't get it. Certainly forced it off and now it needs repairs and stuff. Gatts with the Carnifex on the way now. Orbital bombardment. Doesn't look like it hits anything. And look at this. Osvaldo's had enough for these vehicles. Crushing claws are in. Has improved Synapse. Should get the warp field as well if they can. Provide some extra durability, but I'm sure they are carefully considering what to purchase here in Inekura. They have a Venom Cannon Carnifex for awesome anti-vehicle weaponry from range. Hive Tyrant runs away. Osvaldo, I think, is going to be alright. Oh, maybe not. Stormtroopers saw him running and they take him down. Why did I say that? Poor Osvaldo. There's that Crusader now, that Land Raider, with all those Hurricane Bolters. Ordo Malleus are mopping things up here. 193 to 155. But Venjitron has nothing on the field whatsoever. Oh, pulls in some without number Termagants and Hormagaunts. But they're not going to last very long. Neurothrope on the way for Inekura. Oh, they got the Vortimer. They got the Vortimer Razorback down. I guess that was the Carnifex. Wasn't even paying attention. Here's another Carnifex of the Stranglethorn Cannon. Gatts and Inekura keeping the blue team going. There you see a Dreadnought getting debuffed by Corrosive Claws. Slows them down and messes up their damage resistance, but then he gets shot to death. Tin cans are not tasty, says Inekura. They've almost got this Dreadnought down. Bioplasma doesn't quite hit. I don't think it would have been enough anyway. Uh-oh. Paladins appear from the Brother Captain. These guys unique. Brother Captain call-in. Crippling Poison, a good tool to have there. Vortimer doing some damage to this Carnifex. Can it outshoot it? I think the Carnifex would have won that fight. Maybe. That would have been really close though. 156 to 138. 2 to 1 now for Ordo Malleus, and they are in the ascendancy. What do you get now if you're Venjitron? I think you get a Neurothrope to help with these Paladins. Or maybe like multiple Death Spitters would be good. There's that Paroxysm. If you put more than one Paroxysm on the same spot, does it stack? I wonder. Not sure. But you can see, look at the damage that one Paroxysm did to those Paladins. That was nuts. Meanwhile, northeast, Ordo Malleus get run off. Venjitron has gone for a Carnifex. I think that's the obvious, but not the best option here. Maybe a Thornback would be good. Could trade with the Paladins a bit. Could be good. I mean, they're gonna have 3 Carnifexes and a Swarmlord now, and a Neurothrope, the blue team. I would go Thornback though, I think. Although I guess the Paladins can't fight all the Carnifexes at the same time. Swarmlord backing away. Paladins go after it. Big fight here. Neurothrope backs off a bit. Swarmlord's going to get got. Down it goes. Dreadnought is really far forward now. Big blob of Stormtroopers still doing some work, eh? These level 4 Stormtroopers, they got Cataclysm, but down goes the Neurothrope. Eversor got it. Wow. Gone absolutely mental. That's Frenzon up there. Frenzon and Psychon and Killzone. Outrageous amounts of damage. 82 to 138. Looks like the Ordo Malleus are going to have this. But on Cathari Ruins, where you can get quick triple caps, you never know. Going to be a hell of a comeback if the Tyranids can do this, though. They have some big beasties, but they've all taken damage. Swarmlord just fell. Venjitron went for a Stranglethorn Cannon. I think their biggest problems are the Dreadnoughts and those Paladins.
Here's some spore mines popped out of the Carnifex. Where are they? They're back there, doing nothing. Paladins are fully healed up again, which isn't great for the Tyranids. Double cap now for the Ordo Malleus. There's a triple cap, and there's an orbital bombardment. Down goes the Carnifex there. There's another one on the way for Inekura. But they are done for. We do see Warp healed up for Osvaldo. Orbital gets some decent hits up there. GG indeed. Ordo Malleus take it with a triple cap at the end. Some sloppy unit losses from Venjitron, sending the Carnifex in, and some other losses along the way. Gatts and Inekura just couldn't carry all the way through. But the Ordo Malleus was solid. Blackward with excellent usage of these stormtroopers. And those operatives, of course, who stayed active. Look at the resources they had at the end. All of them resources. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war. And the Tenso for running the lobby, of course, and getting the replay to me so we could all see it. I'll see you guys in the next one.